Thank you for joining us at Sports Fans. You are now watching the Baseball Hippie Show, Baseball Hippie Show, Baseball Hippie Show. Wow, it's the Baseball Hippie Show. Welcome all, it's just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Baseball Hippie Show. Welcome all, it's just love and baseball. Baseball Hippie Show. Welcome all, it's just love and baseball. Baseball, just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Baseball, just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Baseball Hippie Show.
I'm the Baseball Hippie, and next to me is Brownbear, and below me, but not below me, is Tobe, aka what was it? HD
1080T.
1080, remember? That's just your official name after this episode now. So Brownbear, and then below me, but not below me, 1080T.
Beneficial, bro.
It's funny because you're no, we still get tech difficulties, even though you have a nice rig, a beautiful rig. We did get a technical difficulty once, but 1080T usually comes.
Listen, I don't control the satellites, man.
Rate. Yeah,
we can only control what we got in front of us, man. We don't control the sky.
No truer words. Yeah, so this is the Baseball Hippie Show. We're a show about baseball, psychedelia, and denuclearization. And we're feeling it this April 16th. About 2 or 3 weeks in the season, give or take. Maybe, I don't know, 20 games played. And April 16, 2025. What season are we on? 5? Season 5? Season
6.
Season 6, Ep 2.
Just 1 technically. The other one we were just trying to geoguess.
Oh yeah, that's the off season.
It didn't go very well.
Oh yeah, we tried to geoguess preseason, and that didn't go technical. Dude, our whole show since the inception of Baseball Hippie is getting the damn thing, the levers. Oh man, when it's a homegrown when it's a straight organic operation, man, you never know.
We might have got banned from GeoGuess. I think they thought we were googling addresses.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's my account.
My bad. I was just giving the joke.
That's like one of my party games, man. We like to get drunk and just throw it up on the big screen, have the whole room guessing just over cocktails. Come on.
We're kind of nice at it, bro. We're kind of nice.
I said we need to start a gaming like offshoot, because like between GeoGuess and the show, we got some content over there. If we want to go, we can move to LA, start content full time.
Do a content house.
Anyways, welcome all. As always, to start off the show, can't stray away from our tradition just because things are a little crazy. Just kidding.
You made
as always.
You made it.
I made it 15 seconds.
4 minutes into the show before talking about how crazy the world is.
Well, I'll reel it back by saying, "How are you, Brownbear?"
I'm doing good, man. Life's good. Just got back from playing blitzball with the homies in the park. It's beautiful down here in Oregon. I think it's probably similar weather up there.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, had a couple beers at the blitzball field and cranked some blitzballs. I actually didn't hit very well tonight, but it was fun. It was tight.
Amazing, man. Tobe, how are you doing, man?
Dude, we're chilling. Today we're channeling for all the nerds out there. This is my boy Good Boo. If anyone ever watched Dragon Ball Z, there's Majin Buu, and then his beloved puppy got shot, and he puked out Evil Boo. He almost killed Goku, but on the other side there was Good Boo who stayed true to heart. And we're gonna channel Good Boo tonight, because Good Boo at the end of the day saved the world. And also shout out Blitzball, that's dope.
I gotta be real with you. Any Dragon Ball Z I've watched, I was either like 12 or I was on psychedelics in college, so I don't know much about the storyline.
Nah, that's legit the perfect. That's all. Those are the only two. Those are the only two criteria you really need to know.
Nice.
I will say on a side note, one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z stories is, I think I grew up in like the perfect age for it. So I'd like come home from elementary school and watch Toonami. So they'd like replay the shit, but it was like we were like 3 years or 4 years too late. So it'd be like Dragon Ball Z, and then they'd go to like GT and all some other nerdy shit. And I remember one of Jess's friends, because Jess is 5 years older than me. One of your friends, when you were in middle school and I was in elementary school, when DVD and LimeWire and taking shit off the internet was prominent. You were like, because he knew I was into Dragon Ball Z, and he was like, bro, like, shit, I have a homie who's into Dragon Ball Z, da da da. And he was like, and I forget that I legit. I mean, I know Jess. I don't even know if you're gonna remember this guy, but I know you'll remember the story.
Wait, do you remember who it was?
It wasn't. No, see, that's the whole thing. It wasn't one of your prominent friends. It was kind of someone cutty, but he was super nice. And then he was like, bro, he was like, you've ever heard of Dragon Ball GT? And then I was like, nah. I was like, bro, I'm still like, I was like freshly on like, we were still fighting Frieza, bro, on live TV. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So he gave me a CD, and I remember we plugged it into the family computer, and it was like sacrilegious. It was like so far ahead in the future, and I was like, I don't even think this is real, bro. I think this is some spin-off. I was like, this is some fake shit that you're. And it was like, I was like mad about it, because it's like basically what happens in the future is that he's like, it's some spin-off where he's like has like triple the hair. He has like, it's like purple hair, triple the hair. He's like a kid. He's just fighting some people you don't even know. The main protagonist is like some other chick, and the whole storyline's all fucked up. And I was like, my fourth grade brain could not handle it so much to the point that I was like angry about it. And I always would keep that for the rest of my life. And I was like, and I think even your friend was just like, damn, bro, like your little brother's kind of mad about this whole scenario. I was like, I show her what's up. And I was like, I was legit just like, this is fake. I was like, you just gave me some fake bullshit. Like, this is something. And then fast forward like 8 years, I was like, damn, that just was what happened. And then I think the whole community was kind of mad about how Dragon Ball Z turned out anyway. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard people.
But shout out,
GT.
Recently the guy did pass away, and the OG guy who made it is an amazing person. If you could ever, there's a couple documentaries on him on YouTube, and he's one of the coolest people of all time in the history of the world in animation.
Oh.
Amazing. And let me give you one fact, not to do a thing, that he made a comic that was so popular in Japan that he was the 5th richest person in Japan before he even wrote one comic strip of Dragon Ball. That's how cool he was. He was just one of those dudes that was like, yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Dragon Ball Hippy Show.
We made it. Well, shout out to Good Boo, man. Yeah, I'm having a good hair day, but I'm always going to wear a ball cap on the show, man, because I'm a fucking baller.
Shout out Rainier Denim Cap. Shout out Tobes.
Denim boys.
You fitted the crew out in the Rainier Denim Cap.
I told Brownbear the other day, man. I got a comment from the barista, my favorite barista. I get comments on this all the time, man. It's a popular hat, but it's rare.
Who do you guys think has the highest OPS for the Tacoma Rainiers all time?
All time?
Bucky Jacobs.
Bucky Jacobs. Amazing. Damn. That was quick. That was the most amazing answer.
Do we know him? First, we got to know if it's someone.
I'm looking at
Jose Marmolejos.
Oh,
we did see him hit 2 home runs. Yeah,
he did tear it up. I think he won MVP. Well, yeah, man. Big shout
I'll get
out.
to that right before the end of the episode, guys.
Yeah. I guess today's show we'll talk weekly roundup. We'll go over kind of the beginning of the season, a lot of surprises, a lot of same old. Um and then maybe talk a little fantasy baseball that's been heating up. And then talk maybe even like a little bit of the show because we've been getting it in on the show. I'm proud of us, man. It's like busy lives, but we still find a way to make the show happen.
Yeah,
Late night.
just sacrificing sleep, like getting like 5 hours of sleep at night just to run some show games till
I
like 2 in the
noticed
morning.
Okay, let's go. Shout out to Brownbear this week, then, because he's been giving up dad hours to play some of the show. That was the surprise shout out that I secretly planned because yeah. So shout out Brownbear, shout out all the dads out there, including Brownbear. Yeah, man.
We got Steph in the middle.
I know, like when I play, I feel like I can only give it an hour or two with you guys because I want to give you my all. And like there are times where I like doze, like kind of like get distracted. But when I'm playing with you guys, my new attitude is like you lock the fuck in or you don't play and just talk to them. Like they could play a game without you if you wanted, but like don't show up just mad tired and just out of it like you're gonna like get busy. You're not gonna get busy, dude. You're gonna strike out more times.
What'd you call it the other day?
Fly ball.
Jesse Baez.
Yeah, when I go up there like Jesse Baez, you might catch a solo shot every blue moon, but nah, man. When you're locked in, it's a fun game because like it kind of. I feel like it rewards you for like thinking in the moment or like having some strategy. I don't know. That's just like, and then you do get bombed out still, but like, I don't know if you can kind of gauge pretty early, like what echelon, and you just, when there's blood in the water, me and Brown were this one game where the guy quit, but we just knew, we were like, damn, this is going to be a long day. This one doesn't quit because we were locked in.
Well, Jess, you should check your mailboxes in the next couple of days because I did order you a fighting necklace. Maybe Feeton's how to pronounce because.
Oh, did you?
Yes, yeah, I saw that. I don't know if you guys saw that Andrew McCutcheon story. He said, bought the whole team that. He said, they said, why'd you do that? He's like, shit, I used to ball out in those back in the day. So it's either battle fatigue or we might have to get your balance right there with the
nice.
stick.
Maybe that'll fix my tennis elbow. Yes, nice. Those fighting things were mad popular when I worked at the Mariners team store in like 2009. Shit, I don't even remember. Yeah, 2010. I think.
My favorite thing about the fight necklaces is every time you look them up, the first thing that comes up is there is no scientific proof at all that connects to anything that has to do with athletic abilities.
It's just all vibes, man. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, we should look into what the like so-called science is, but there's lots of stuff like that in the world. If it helps people, come on, baseball hippie show. We're gonna go all in on that one. Naturopath, anything like that. Fighting's just
baseball at the end of the day is the most extreme example of nerds versus ballers, bro. Nerds versus ball players, dude. So anything that you can give a dap in between the middle of something that will, we got something that will help you, brother, and then they'll, dap you up and then put it out in the field. Going to give the boy a little extra confidence.
Well, I think you're right. There's like a
bag.
give and take between the statistical and the like brawn like baller, but I'm going to say there's also this thing that I've dealt with baseball, which is the healthy and unhealthy. Because as Kruk talks about it, he had a pack of 12 packs in there after every game, and those fools would smoke cigs and lift weights after the games in the 80s. But it's like now, like we were talking about the other show, like Ichiro really the stretching and all that, and it's like I don't know. I think there's just fighting could be like a movement in baseball, to.
I wonder what John Kruk thinks about fucking Luka Doncic. they didn't pay one of the best people of all time to because he was quote unquote out of shape. He's still dropping 35. Like I think baseball had it right in the first place. They're like, bro, if you're ball out, you ball out, bro. Like, and you're not getting injured. Like, what are we talking about, bro? We got 12 packs in the dugout, bro.
Yeah. I wonder what it. Yeah. I wonder what it's like nowadays, man. There's probably still the same vices. Guys getting shit housed every night. They don't have a family, you know. It's like, you know what it's like. It's just like one dude on the team is just like getting drunk playing video games, and the other one's like has 4 kids. You know, it's like it's professional life.
Bro, if you mix both of them, that's a brutal. Even more brutal. Bro. You got kids and you're getting drunk as I guess too. You're hitting 180.
Everybody has their medicine, man. I can't judge. Anyways, all right. Weekly roundup. Shout out back again. Shout out Brown Bear. You're giving up hours today too. So Tobe, every minute is valuable.
I know. I'm sorry.
We got a dad here. We need to get him to bed.
But I'm just for all the listeners who would expect anything else, bro. So much has happened, bro, in the world and in baseball. But shout out Brown Bear.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball, the later Dragon Ball years were not as good as the Z and OG. Come on, like everything else. Like they couldn't do it forever, Tobe.
Nice, you missed the point. Looking back at it, they were just as good. I just they skipped generations, bro. It's basically you saw 5 years in the future. You didn't even know, bro. It's basically like you saw.
All right, well that'll be the end of the episode prompt. Is what the game will look like in 5 years is my end of the episode questions. So think about that, guys. But anyways, baseball roundup. You guys, I know, Tobe, you've been paying a lot of attention this year. I know you're excited about the season. I think that off the gate, I just got to say in terms of weekly roundup, because we weren't on last week, is torpedo bats. Last year, Ohtani gambling scandal started. Then the season started. Then they just like went away. This year it was like torpedo bats on that second game. Then that kind of went away. It's like I think every year it's like there's just like a scandal just to like start it off, and then like the games kind of just like flesh it out, and it becomes like I don't know. Is torpedo bat as big a deal this week as it was last week?
No, I feel like my understanding is like a lot of players already had them for some reason. That Yankees game was like when someone noticed that people were using them, and like, but there was already a bunch of other players. A lot of other players already had them. I think. I don't think it was like a Yankee specific thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Cal like called up his like bat sponsor a couple weeks ago and was like, "Yo, you need to find out what the fuck they're doing in New York." Like I'm sure Victus or whatever is like has been pitching and selling this shit to players for a minute now, and it just took them, trying it out.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I think that I totally agree. And then looking back at it, gotta love the drama, dude. Anything that gets baseball into the fucking ether of the international sports news that's not like steroids or anything like that is funny and it's cool. And then watching that video of the baseball doesn't exist guy had a great point where it's like,
shout out
if it's legal, then there's so much money that's gonna trickle down about like metal bats. They're already doing metal bats and all this other shit. Where at the end of the day, like bats? Bringing up, yeah, sorry, T-ball bats, damn near wiffle ball bats, but. No, actually, those already have the dynamics. Those are what they're.
I want to swing one. I'll say that right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's that point I was trying to make. Like, I think as a
gonna get in the consumer
fan, like that would
market.
Just be fun. Like, I think they were like looking at it, being like, "Damn, this is." They're already predicting this is going to sell so much. It's just like a regular consumer bat.
Yeah, and Brown Bear, like you said,
that just adds more fun. And then the other thing is like bringing up the fight and necklaces. It's like at the end of the day, it's correlation versus cause. Like. Is it like obviously when you watch Volpe hit a inside up pitch, and he hasn't really done that, and he parks it so far, but when it all said and done, it's like, is it more than the fighting necklaces, or is it just kind of adding the confidence that people want? And then the last thing I'll say is the one interesting point he had is that Stanton with his elbows said that his elbows got fucked up from a bat adjustment. So now they're talking about when you overload a player with how much, like when you look at the physics of how hard they can swing versus how hard your body can handle it, that these things are like made just like a percentage over of like how hard you could. It's like maximizing the potential, and then Stan's already such a freak athlete that he like was swinging out of his fucking elbows and it like fucked up his arms. That's what like supposedly they're saying, because to get both elbow injuries is like kind of pretty crazy when you're like in your 30s, but
That's
who
wild.
knows? I mean, I don't know. That's just a lot. Yeah, it's who actually knows what the fuck's on. I mean, Stan has a lot of injuries, so it's it's like unless other players are getting it, it's not like gonna be like a thing. But it was the interesting point where it's just like
Yeah, he's kind of just
they're already.
Mr. Glass
It's
a little
to
bit.
me, it's like how they're
You
kind of
also
looking
have
at
to be
pitchers, where
yoked,
they're
I
like
feel like, in that
inventing
situation.
things that pitchers can do that are pitching out of their. It's like those type of words are already coming up, where they're pitching out of like what physically they should be able to handle, and it's fucking up their elbows. So
Yeah.
to make something that batters could do, and it fucks up their type of things. Yeah,
I feel like,
Interesting. Interesting to watch.
Yeah, Brown Bear, you were saying damn it, I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, you I feel like you came in and said something about damn, I'm gonna lose it. I'm sorry.
Well, can I ask Robert a question? If when your kid goes to Little League, are you gonna let him do a metal bat, torpedo bat? Are you gonna have him go to raggy? Are you gonna start him off wood from an early age?
I'm sending him to Driveline like next year to get stats on it. Like get him all marked up, and yeah, we'll
There we
find
go.
out. We'll find out what he
Get
needs.
him up. Good shit.
No, actually, I sent you guys a video. I was hella proud this week. He started. I mean, very like a 2-year-old swings a bat, but he started swinging the bat and connecting with the little baseball. It was pretty cool
Beautiful.
moment. Yeah.
One of the most beautiful things in the world.
Oh yeah, Bremer, you were saying hitters could use a little boost. Is that what did you tell me that? Somebody mentioned to me recently, dang, in the way
we were talking about that
MLB
when we went to the game.
works.
But we've always been talking about that.
Oh, maybe that was you, Tobe. Yeah. Like pitchers have kind of had the advantage the last couple of years. It is kind of fun that it's something for the batters, I guess. That's all I got. And like some of those pitches, the Volpe one and the Harper one you just sent were pretty inside. And as a fan, I'm like, I'd rather see him park that than strike out. I know that I'm not like in the game. Obviously, the other team feels different, but I don't know. You guys feel like the offense could use a little. I mean,
No, I don't think you're wrong, and I definitely agree with that. I think like fans like us who are kind of like nerdy about baseball can appreciate like a low scoring pitcher's duel game, but I have to admit that's not fun all the fucking time. So like, and it sucks because a lot of times with the Mariners, like that's how the team's built, to have low scoring games, and it's not always the most exciting thing unless you're watching like a back and forth like dominant pitching situation. But I think in some ways baseball's at its best when it's like the ball is in play all the time, and there's like a lot of like base running and defensive plays and like a back and forth scoring situation. I really do think that that's when like baseball's at its best. And so, yeah, I would agree with you that I think hitters need some sort of a leg up, and I don't like hope maybe it's kind of crazy if it's like, oh yeah, we were just like using bats that were fat in the wrong play. Like that's kind of where it goes into what you were saying about the fighting necklaces. Like how much of it really is just like a mental thing versus like actually impacting the game. And I think with at least with the torpedo bats, if they really were just started to be used this year, it's way too small of a sample size to tell. But you look at guys like Cal, who's on pace for 60 to 70 home runs. a couple weeks in, and you gotta be like, wow, okay, maybe there is
I
something
will.
to it.
Okay, I want to just come on record. If Cal breaks Barry Bonds' home run record this year, yeah, I'm gonna feel a way about it. No offense to Dub. No offense to Dub. But, so you're right. You're right. That you can. Baseball's been
What? No offense to
tinkering.
me. I don't, bro. What?
Baseball's
Oh
been
boy,
tinkering, and if you
got
if you
big butt
pull the
too, boy.
lever too much in one way, you could mess things up like pretty bad. But I don't know. Yeah.
Well, to add on to that point, and to actually, what Brown Bear and both of you guys are saying is, I think it's so on point. Where it's, I think actually 100,000%. I actually think the main conversation in baseball, and even Manfred for all of his faults, I think that's the thing is you want to get balls in play. When all the other stats involved and like all the other bullshits like high velocity, bat speed, exit velocity, low velocity, it's like you got dudes like Arise who has low velocity. You got dudes, it's like they're always looking for this thing, but the whole thing is to get the bats in place or balls in place. So to me, what it does is it's a ping pong effect, which I think baseball should always have, and it's always had, where it's now basically what it looks like to me is we're talking about a high inside pitch or an inside pitch. So now what's going to happen is the playbook's just going to change for pitchers, and they're just going to be like, well, a pitch that I used to rely on that back in the day, we would throw it a little more high and inside. We talk about chin music, and then now we're talking about a regular strike, which I think is kind of a new thing that was we're like, now we're just painting the fucking inside corner, which to me has always kind of been fucking cheap pitch anyways. But I think they're going to be like, we're going to shy away from there. They're just going to start, it's like that ping pong effect between a hitter and a pitcher, I think is good for baseball. And I think to me, it's why I don't think torpedo bats are, I think it just is fun. I think it adds interest. And to me, it's one of those things where anything, dude, you can get the ball live, bro. Get the ball and play. Like at Brown Bear, that is like 100,000% agreement, because either you're gonna get a nice play by the infield or the outfield, or you're gonna get a hit or something else. So it's like that's what people want to watch, and it's just fun that way. And to me, strikeouts are always the coolest to watch when it's just an absolute fucking buckler. So it's not even like something like that on a high, because we play the show. I'm like, you can't even do shit on a high and inside fastball except that fucking. I mean, there's only a few players like to me, like when I sent that Bryce Harper, I'm like, I don't like. There's only like him and Shohei, and like there's only a couple dudes who can turn on that, because we've all taken BP, and like you have to be so strong to turn on a fucking.
Yeah, and you gotta sell
like,
out a bit. It turns it into
insane, dude.
I mean, batting at that level is inherently a guessing game to some extent.
Yeah.
But when you're throwing like triple digits and can locate a high and inside fastball, it turns it into like you literally just have to guess. Like, I'm going to just sit on like high and inside, hope that he goes there, and be ready to just swing out of my fucking jeans. Like, and just try and turn on it. You're right. But yeah, it takes away being able to react to a pitch. It's like I feel like this was the first series of the season, so we're going back a couple weeks now, but people were hating on Julio had an at bat against Mason Miller in one of those games against the A's, and I was reading some shit where people were hating on him having like an awful swing on a slider. And it's like, for one, Julio doesn't see sliders well. It's kind of like his weak spot. But two, when you're facing a guy like Mason Miller who throws like a 101 mile an hour fastball and like a 90 mile an hour slider, you just have to sell out for the fastball, basically.
Yes, totally.
Because if you're waiting on the slider, you're never gonna touch that fastball
Ever.
And when it's that velocity, there's no reacting to that. You just
totally
pick one and you sit on it.
Well, it's like I've seen before too. I've seen before too. If you see it, you're looking fastball, and then a slider gets left in, you're already swinging at it like a fastball, and sometimes you just I've seen people just like I'm like in my mind I'm like they're looking fastball, but that guy left the slider in a like a place that a fastball would come, and they just like were able to take a little off and just like, or they were behind on the fastball and you just left the slider up, but like
Yeah, and to me, it's like you got to put respect on Miller's name, and there's only a few relievers in the game like that where it's like what he has coming up. So I think for all the other pitches, all you're trying to do is touch him and foul him. To be honest, like unless he's off that day and you're really just looking for a mistake. But I think like, oh man. I could go on a rant. I mean, do we want to talk about Julio for a sec? I feel like we haven't really like dived into him too much like recently because I have a bit to say about him because I think like
let's save it for the end if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Because like there's more said real quick about the league. Padres are good. Atlanta's bad. That's crazy. And then I mean
Padres are nice.
Yeah, I think like Vlad got a big contract, and it's weird what a week difference makes because like even Mariners were bad like kind of the first week, and then LA was like unbeatable, and now everything's just starting to like really show its face. So it's going to be there's a lot of competitive divisions this year, and I'm stoked on that. Like crazy competitive. I gotta say, like, this might be, and maybe I'm just getting that early season hype, but like, there are storylines in every single division. So I'm nerding.
Yeah,
out,
no, there's not a lot of really
good year, I think.
Like outside of
the Dodgers,
honestly, outside of the White Sox and the Rockies, there's really, I think every other team has like are pretty competitive within their division. There definitely will be some teams that get out ahead. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if LA figures out a way to get out ahead, or like, Yankees or someone in the East. But like, really, most of the divisions, as I'm looking at them, are super competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? You know what I was thinking the other day is like, I wonder. I don't know how you check this on like Baseball Reference, but has there ever been a season where like a team like there hasn't been one team like that's? I mean, I don't know if 90 games lost is a lot, but I wonder if there's ever been a team that's lost like there hasn't been one team in the season that's lost more than like 85 games. Like, you know what I'm trying to get to. Like, I wonder if like the 80s there was just like such like what's the most even season like I guess that's ever been in MLB.
Oh, like the lowest number of losses on a team.
Yeah, like yes, yeah. I guess that's the way to put it. What's the season where the team that's the worst has had the lowest amount of losses would be an interesting factor.
Yeah, like the most competitive year of baseball.
Because I don't because I kind of agree with Brown. I think like I don't think this season obviously is going to go there because the White Sox in Miami are just but that'd be interesting. Okay, I'm gonna look at it. What's the lowest?
That's what I'm saying. My baseball AI idea, there's growth there, and like you could ask a computer like those weird questions and see if they could go use lots and lots of energy to fucking. I've got the answer for you, Mr. Robinson. It's the 1976 season. You don't have to know how to read an almanac. I am your almanac. Anyways, man. Yeah, good storylines all through the West. Me and Tobe are actually going to Chicago next month, so I think we're going to go to a Wrigley game. So shout out the Cubs for being
shout out PCA.
Shout out the Giants. Shout out the Mets are doing good, 11-7. Shout out the Blue Jays. You guys got any special shout outs? Man, Angels, what the fuck is going on right now? This is going to cool out. This will cool off. Maybe I'm getting too hyped. I'm getting caught up in the hype train, I think.
The Giants definitely special shout out, man. So for some reason, I don't know if it's just a West Coast factor.
I agree
I
with
think
that.
like they're our brother sister. I love the Giants, bro. Anytime I see the
Me
Giants do
too.
good,
It's
so
really easy to
excited.
love a National League team too, even though the leagues
Yeah, me
don't
too.
seem to matter as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Big shout out Giants.
But I love the Bay, man. The Bay's fire. Like I feel like Seattle just has a connection with the Bay, anyways. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
true.
fun. And they're a fun team. They're a good team, man.
So, any other big stories from around the league before we move on to some like Mariners or some Yahoo Fantasy League or MLB The Show? Shout out new Jackie Robinson
I mean, I kind of want to talk
program.
about. I don't know if it's
You want? Is
down.
it Julio
It's not.
time?
It's not. No, I mean, I'll talk about it later. I don't know if it's negative, but I kind of was mentioning it earlier. Like, I kind of want to talk about just your guys' opinion about the Orioles. To me, is like
Oh, that would
they
be.
were like to me like they were. I mean, I mean, for since I've involved in this podcast for I think 2 out of the 4 years, I was like, I think they're going to the World Series. Like, I've just never seen a team in even all the sports where I'm like, I'm so just they have all the factors and then have just kind of blown it and just missed it by such baby steps in a lot of ways. And their ownership is there, but it's not there, and it's just a weird. It's just I don't know, and especially this year just feels weird. I mean, they've kind of just such a slow start. So I mean, you guys are my baseball vets. Like, I just want to get your opinions on where do you think the Baltimore Orioles go from here? I mean, it's so early in the season. Obviously, they could have a great season from here, but
That's a good question. Bram, what do you want to do? I'll take it first, or you can take it.
You go ahead and take it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Gunnar Henderson's basically my number one pick this year, so they better do fucking good. No, just kidding. I'll be in the fucking dungeon all season if I'm not already. But no, I'm just kidding. I think that they're like the Mariners have a young team, but their youngness is on offense, and offense has that thing of when the momentum starts swinging the other way, you start winning lots of games. Is my recollection. I don't remember winning games like that, but I'm just saying in general, teams. Uh, but in terms of did they miss their window? I don't know. I think I'd say I gotta do another month of the eye test, and then we'll see. I also haven't seen them play at all this year, so.
well,
But
if I could add something, it's just that I think this is what you guys said earlier when just talking off the pod, but it's just interesting when you get guys who are, or I mean, not even guys. It's just so obvious where it's like for forever, it's like starting pitching is the hardest thing to acquire in the league, and then you look at Baltimore where it's such a core of hitters, and then they don't have the starting pitching, and it's just weirdly so brutal, absolutely brutal to watch because, especially in the AL East, I mean, you just want someone. To me, I always just root for Baltimore, the Rays in the AL East, so it's just tough to watch. And then I feel like once that kind of falls through, the whole kind of core kind of crumbles on itself, and then I think there's something. This is my big thing I wanted to add and get your guys' opinion. I think there's something in the AL East where Tampa Bay fucked that whole division up, where they're so obsessed now with like splits and relievers and like all this shit that like I keep clowning on them for like the Jackson Holiday and a couple other things. Where I'm like, you guys have boomers in your lineup. Why are you fucking around with splits? Like, just play. Like, to me, I was just obviously that's just how baseball is nowadays. But to me, I was just I thought it sent a message to the dugout. To me, I'm just like, bro, just show confidence in your fucking lineup. Like, just play your boys. Like, and it is what it is. Like, you guys are trying to tweak everything to the extreme. Like,
yeah,
to the, I don't know.
No, I feel you, and I do. That's a funny call out. I think Tampa Bay did fuck it up. I feel like for a while
Yeah,
they were.
and I was not fucking up, but sorry to cut you off, but actually, shout out Tampa Bay. That's not what I meant. Like, shout out. I don't mean that Tampa Bay plays the game wrong. Just shout out Tampa Bay in general. I think it's just mad funny. They got in their head. They're living rent free type of shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think what it is really they over the last 15 to 20 years they've had some really creative approaches to building lineups without spending money and like impacting the game through analytics by doing things like the opener and looking at splits and things like that. And I think other teams see that and they're like, oh, well, like our dudes are better players than the guys on Tampa Bay. So if we just do what Tampa Bay is doing, it's going to work great for us. But yeah, I think that's what's kind of beautiful about baseball is like, yeah, there is all this analytical stuff. I love all the statistic, like nerdy shit about baseball, but like at a certain point, there is like an intangible human aspect to it that like sometimes you gotta go with the hot hand or the hot bat, and like it's gonna be against what the analytics are saying, and there's certain things you can't analyze, right? And
Man, you got to talk to Josh Jingleheimer and Schmidt about this, dude. He fucking the touch, man. It drives him like the Robbie Ray and the knife. You could crunch that through as many computers as you want, but like there's just a feeling in the air, you know. It's just like no, it just does not seem like the
you know who to me on just a layman's term is anti-touch is the Chicago Cubs. Like to me, their lineup's cooking right now, and I think they just set their lineup and they're just because I watch those dudes just off fantasy now. I'm like all those dudes play every day, and they just kind of trust, and it kind of comes from to me. Not to be, this is just so lame to say, but like, bro, and I think the Brewers are the same. It's like you just play good D, bro. Like if you can't hit, you gotta have plus D, bro.
Lame and good base running.
You gotta have plus
it's
D.
It's like the little all the good teams do that one thing the same, which is like they just capitalize on other people's mistakes and they try to make as least mistakes. This is real.
And that's why I'm so confused about the Mariners because at one point when 2022, 2023. That was our whole MO, bro. We were good D. We were just good D. We had the best infield in baseball, and that was our whole thing. It's like, well, if they can't hit,
we had that's a tough
and they
year
called it,
too.
They called it fun differential. Fun differential.
Oh, sorry, you said 2003.
Yeah, no, 2022, 2023. My bad.
Yeah.
So they call it fun differential, but it's like it was just good D, and it was good. It was good bullpen, obviously. That was a huge part of it, but I think I'm kind of like ranting about the other shit. Those have to do with the Orioles, but I think I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if that's a positive note to end it on, but I guess.
No, I think so. My take on the Orioles thing before we move on, I think just looking from an outsider perspective, they came into the season like net negative from where they were at the end of last season because they, and I don't think that, like, to be clear, I don't think that's why they're in last place. And they're only 3.5 games back. Like, it's early in the season. They definitely have what it takes to make up that difference. But yeah, they either didn't pursue or couldn't re-sign Corbin Burns. They picked up Charlie Morton, who's not a terrible pitcher, but definitely like older towards the end of his career. And then they lost Anthony Santander and replaced him with Ramon Laureano, who like hasn't been the same Ramon Laureano since he got suspended for steroids. So like it just like they didn't like, yeah, they brought in guys to replace those guys that were leaving, but I feel like it makes them, at least on paper, a worse team than they were last year. And again, to be clear, I don't think that's why they're where they're at now, but like, I think it might have something to do with it.
Totally. And I guess my big question, sorry, Jess, I don't mean to cut you off, but my big question, I guess why I'm even bringing this up, because it does relate to the Mariners, because we've talked about the weird comparisons because there's pitching versus offense. So, if you're one of the core players, are you more likely to sign with the Baltimore Orioles or with the Seattle Mariners as one of their respective core players?
I mean, I think it's too early in the season to say that because, like, we're talking about the Orioles as if they just found their demise today.
Yeah,
I think what Brownbear is saying is like, because, like, I think at the end of last season, I'd probably say the Orioles because they were fucking looking like a World Series contender. But it does take only a couple pieces to like kind of fall out. But at the same time, Yeah, I mean, I, I, I mean,
You know
they
why
need
you
a
know, but you know
starter.
what I'm saying
Getting
that
rid of
question right
Burns
now.
could have been a big deal. We'll see. Time will tell. But also two things on that. Getting rid of Burns might have been a big deal, and also they need to put some motherfucking respect on Santandar's name, dude. That
Say
dude's
that. Say
way
that.
better than
Yeah,
he
say
gets
that.
credit for. He's
And
one of the top
Cedric Mullins
25
too.
players in the league, probably.
Oh God. And Cedric
Maybe.
Mullins been killing it this year too. But you get why I'm phrasing that question because it's almost like you got guys like them who are like in Gunner you're gonna add on and then Rushman who are like shit we got swept in the playoffs we've won 100 games and like we're getting to the cusp we've gotten to the things that we need and we got to the cusp but I don't even know if this core is capable of there where you got people in the Mariners like Logan and Cal who's gonna get the fat contract and then other people who are like, well, shit, we've know what the cusp is, but the ground level is higher than in this, but we've never even got close to the ceiling, you know. So to me, I'm like, I'm not trying to put it obviously in
That's
a
true.
way where
True.
I'm leaning to that, but I would almost think that I think besides maybe Kirby because he's from New York, I just think the Mariners are like whoa, this is a fuck situation we're in, but we've never touched the ceiling. We never clinched the division like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, I just think a lot of the ways, like I love the Orioles, but like to just clinch a division and get swept and then just be what they're at now, where it's like they're playing splits on Jackson Holiday and like other shit. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Like, and then the AL West is just, I mean, the AL East to me is like, I think they're just so like everyone's just so bowing down to the Yankees, and they're like, bro, you have three dudes on the Yankees who are damn near rookies who are taking over the league. Like, to me, I'm like, you're looking at that on their team, and they're like, this is who we're gonna bow down to. Like, it's like so interesting to me. It's like because their ace just got sidelined for the year. It's like, to me, with Eamon, you could add Boston to that equation too. I'm like, this is the year to get it, and it's just like, bro, like. But it's so early. I'm just hating. This is such a hater thing coming from the AL West. Like I don't know, like absolute haterade that I'm drinking right now, and comes from a dark place that we just just want everyone to demise, except for the Dodgers. I love Shohei, but so Jess, can I ask
That's a weird one to want, dude.
Yeah, Jess. So what's your scale of 1 to 10? How much do you hate Shohei today on April 16th?
Well, I'll say
We're
this.
gonna keep track of this during the season.
I'll say this. He's definitely not my favorite player, but he's come a long way since the Funyuns picked. But I'll say this, man. You were talking about Jackie Robinson before the pod. Otani's got class. I can't take that from him. Like yes, the gambling scandal and all that, but I give him credit where he just fucking like balls. You can just really tell the dude really just likes baseball. And as a fan that really likes baseball, I'm kind of like I'm into that, man. I don't love the Dodgers, but they're in third place, so I don't know. My Giants are doing well, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. But I'll say
that
this.
division is nasty, bro. That division, even the Diamondbacks are tight. Like that shit is so.
That
nice.
Naylor pickup might have been. We should talk about next show. Talk about all the best pickups because we'll get two more, like another week or two.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brownbear. I'm sorry. I know that was your boy, bro. I felt like you knew you were 2 picks behind me, and I was like, dude, Brownbear is gonna be so.
Yeah, I know the Mariners should have got Naylor and Max Fried and fucking Goldschmidt.
I'm talking about fantasy. Obviously, the Mariners are not.
Oh, sorry, you guys are talking. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well, both. Naylor should have either ended up on the Mariners or Brownbear's fantasy team.
The Mariners should have got Josh Bell, bro. That was like $3 million. Like the Mariners, dude. I could have given him a $7 million roster in the offseason, and it would involve
Josh
they
Bell
just
and
don't want him.
Goldschmidt aren't going to do it for the Mariners. Let's be real.
They're not, but I will say I
No,
would rather
fuck
have
no.
I would rather spend an extra couple million on dudes like Goldschmidt or Josh Bell than fucking Rowdy Tellez, bro. Are you kidding me?
We should make a meme like, oh, we got Josh Bell and we got Goldschmidt at home.
Rowdy to me is just such where he is where he stands, but I'm not trying to blame it on him. But there's two balls pulled to the first baseline. I'm like, dude, like you don't have to be a Gold Glover. I'm like, dude, like you know what I'm saying? Like today with the Vargas ones, I was like, those were ripped, but I'm like, bro, you didn't even. There was just no chance he got him. I was like, I was in your zone, bro. Like he wasn't even. He couldn't even put the glove down enough.
Ty France was good.
Like,
yeah. All right. Well, let's
Which
talk about
I don't think Ty France is a plus defender, but I think
he was good.
he would have put the ball closer to the. He would have put his glove closer to the ball than what I see. And I was like, dude, the ball was already in right field by the time you put your glove down, my boy.
Like, you don't have to be an A plus
Christ,
defender.
bro, yeah.
You don't have to be a D
What the
minus.
fuck, dude? It was crazy. I was like, that was by your. It was literally less than a foot away from his right foot, and like by the time his glove hit the ground, it was in.
Don't
right
come
field.
to me!
Like,
don't come to me! Don't come to me! Shit!
Yeah, he's like, oh fuck! And it was 2 in a row, and he's like, God damn it! And I was like, bro, that's what the book says. Like Vargas, everyone's gonna pull on Vargas, bro. He's like, oh fuck, bro.
Damn it! Should have subbed me out. Well, all right, let's get in Mariners real quick. Before we get in, I just want to say, and then we'll close it there because we got to probably get soon. But man, big news out of Mariners world. Me and Tobe were at the game the other day, and 7th inning stretch comes around, and they have gotten rid of the Macklemore song. But what they have done is so funny. They really, this is what happened at the Mariners. It's when the Macklemore people and the Louie people met to a Louie dance techno remix.
Bro, I could have made a better remix, bro.
Dude, I'm not even making it up.
Jess, you know I'm bedroom producer at best. I could have made a better remix, bro.
I give you
that shit was wicked, bro.
It was bad. It was some tech house. It was not sick. It was not.
It wasn't. You could. It was just like, make a cool remix to that.
They should just play "Come On Seattle." That song's. I used to hate on it, but
they should just make Posse on Broadway. They should make big butts, bro. Fuck it. No, I mean I like generally that Louie's back, but the remix was mad lazy, bro. For anyone,
there must have been
true beatsmiths in the crowd.
Serious discussions where somebody in leadership was like, we need like a upbeat song there. But like they're like the Louie people, they're pretty serious. They like their Louie. It's like
well,
such a corporate response to a problem. They're just like, okay, well, here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna give you the Louie remixed, everybody. It's like Macklemore, it's like Louie. It helps everybody. I'm like, all right, you guys.
They could have got so many different DJs to like have one name to the thing and be like, damn, we got the fucking what's his name remix. And it's like, dude, this is literally some intern who did this shit and just did the Ableton harmony to MIDI and just like lazy produce it. But I still am. I mean, me and Jess are pretty bummed, but I still am. We looked around the stadium.
I don't know if that lonely intern. I don't know if that lonely intern exists anymore, Tobe. That could have got straight AI, another job.
Oh, true. We're talking about the Kevin Mathers effect. What's it? Rotary Club, dude.
Yeah,
all the pennies, dude.
Well, if we're gonna go, I don't know if we're gonna have time to do straight. Well, maybe we get into.
Well, I do want to talk about the Julio thing. Just it's gonna take 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay,
it's actually the same. It was actually about the same time.
Start us off real quick. Is last week, if we would have done this pod, Brownbear was saying we would have been bummed on the Mariners. So now that we're this week, how are we feeling about the Mariners? They came off that sweep, but then they lost a little bit. Then they won today. How do you guys feel in general about the Mariners? How I'd like to start this off. Then we can get into Julio after that too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said it. You said it just like I feel it. Last week, before the homestand, even the series against Houston, like I feel like we could have swept that. Like we lost. I feel like the game we lost in that series was whack. We lost it in a whack way. I can't remember exactly what happened, but yeah, before that homestand, it was dismal. I'm feeling a little bit better now. They were getting some hits at home. I feel like the bullpen is lacking. I feel like the starters have not been. I mean, they're fine. They've been very fine and serviceable. I think. I think it's hard for them to hold up their end of the deal when they can't be confident knowing that they're going to get the run support they need. So it feels like an unsteady ship at the moment. I really wish dudes would step up and hit better than 200. There's a few people that aren't, but there's some bright spots too. Polanco seems like the dude we thought he was supposed to be last year. Dylan Moore has looked good. Miles Mastroboni coming out of nowhere from being like a bench rider to like they basically have to put him in the lineup because he's one of the best hitters on the team right now. Yeah, so there's some good spots to it, and it's very early in the season. It's like it's a good lesson in like small sample sizes. Let's check back in like a month or two and see how we're really feeling about the team. But I do think there's a lot of valid concerns based on the offseason and not having done enough. And I think larger concerns for me is there seems to be some sort of issue with hitting at T-Mobile for people in a Mariners uniform. Like, I don't know what it is, but that marine layer just fucking...
Unless your name's Mike Trout.
Well, that's the thing is like away teams don't seem to... I mean...
Get the disease.
Kind of, but if you do look at like splits at Safeco versus away, everybody it's clearly a pitcher's park. Everybody hits worse in Safeco than they do in other places. So when you play most of your games at Safeco, it seems to be something that's a problem. And I get it; it's a hitter's park, but
shit,
I don't know.
See, that's okay. Well, actually, my bad.
Yeah.
Or okay, wait. Let me just. Okay, so totally agree. See, and Brownbear hit it on the nose with all that, but it's so funny because in the major stat with the Mariners that I just got this from the Talking Baseball is they go, and I'm gonna fuck up the numbers up, but they go 6 in home runs in the league, and then going back down to 22 in average, 23 in OPS or something about those numbers. So it's so funny where it's once again it's like, dude, why are we so? And obviously that's just how the league is in general, but it's like it's the same. And now this is just such repetition of what we always said, but it's like it's the same stadium we won 116 in. Well, I don't exactly know why we don't go into small ball era. And we've seen it a couple times. So I do appreciate Dan Wilson for trying to do a couple things and moving around it like that. But I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go there right now. There's two things I do want to say is that shout out Victor Robles, because we haven't even talked about. We haven't touched on that. That's brutal. Yeah, I mean, sacrificed his bod for the team. And I will say, I just want to give his flowers because a guy like Victor Robles, if you're a journeyman in that late 20s, early 30s, what he did, and I was joking about last year, I was like, dude, he just became best friends with the franchise player. And he was just like, because I follow him on Instagram, and he was just like, dude, he just posts Julio Rodriguez every day. And I was sending it to Jess. I was like, dude, he just posts Julio working out. And he's like, my boy. And I was like, damn, that's so fucking smart. You just be like, dude, I'm just gonna get it in. Like my career is almost over, and then I'm just gonna get it in with the franchise player, and then he produced too. So I think it was just like it was just a perfect storm. And I was like, man, that's so smart. Like I don't know why more players don't do that. And then he started off the year hot, sacrificed his bod, and then the second thing I'll say is this one's kind of sad is like the Ryan Bliss shit. I don't know if you guys were watching that game, but like I think to me what happened there was probably a coach's worst nightmare. And I think shout out Dan Wilson, but I think all of the front of house has like had nightmares about that scenario. It's like the MLB is no joke. And you see it in other sports. I mean, football, obviously the one where it's like if you're not like legit ready, I've never seen that in MLB a lot. Like he legit just fucking tore his bicep because Framber Valdez's curveball is so fucking nasty. Like I watched that at bat and I was like, what? It was legit like a horror. It was fucking crazy. If you watch that at bat replayed, it was like, it's like why they don't put like, and I don't, there's so many metaphors I don't want to like say because it's disrespectful to Ryan Bliss because his defense is blessed and like, obviously he can play in the league, but like, dude, it was fucked up. I was like, holy shit. Like,
oh, were you going to say he got struck out so hard that he got injured? But it's like just kind of a diss, like when you say it out loud, right? It's like
not only am I saying that, I'm
fooled you ruined your career. It's like sorry that you would laugh.
Jess, not only am I saying that, I'm doubling down on that. It was. I remember because I came from work, woke up from a nap, and then watched that at bat, and I was like, "Whoa, am I in a nightmare state?" Like, dude, he was so. It was, and obviously, it sucks that it was Framber Valdez because we have such history with Framber Valdez, and it was, dude, at the first curveball, he swung so hard he hit the catcher in the mask with his bat, and I was like with Steph, and I was like, "Damn, I've never seen someone hit a catcher in the mask in hella long." And then he had one ball, and then he did another curveball and swung so fucking hard it hit the catcher so tough. Like it was fucked up, and you could tell he was like, oh shit. Like and the curveball was nasty too. I was like, it's just one of those moments to just show you how fucking hard the game is. And I was like, holy, and it's just, I don't think it's on the player. I think it's more just on the management. I think it's just as a manager, that's just tough to see where you're like, dude, like your other shit is so plus, but like it's just, but I mean, not to just baseball aside, you see that shit in football all the time. Like fools are just get rocked on some shit. So, and it's just tough to watch because Ryan Bliss, you're like, damn, bro, like how many other chances are you gonna have? Like, but all right, so that's my other shit, and then the Julio shit I'll go into is that. So we're around the 7th inning stretch, and then once again, Julio I don't know. He just had it at bat. It wasn't even that big of a deal. Like it was like, I think there's a man on first, 1 out, strikes out, and we just hear from the section over. It's like dude's just yelling out drunk, like, man, fuck this guy. This guy fucking sucks, bro. And I was like, dude, the hate, I get it, because obviously he has a fat contract. But the thing I never really understand is like he got signed when he was 22. He didn't ask for, and I'm not trying to make up excuses, but it's like he got the contract because he's 22. He didn't ask for the contract. So it's like they locked up Julio. So anything that happens after him getting locked up is not him. It's him disappointing expectations, but it's not like, because I've heard a lot of people who've been like, yeah, we pay him way too much for how much he produces. And I just think that's,
I'd also argue those people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because
that's what I'm saying. It's like the team obviously revolves around Julio if he does good, but it's tough to just sit at a thing and then watch your fan next to you in a game we won.
Wait, I was there. I didn't see that at the game we
won. Dude,
I
tried to say it to you. Yeah, I was like, the guy in the Trident deck at the bar was like, dude, I fucking told you this guy fucking sucks. And then obviously what I pointed out on the fucking, I mean, Instagram's toxic and all this shit's like they post the shit from him and it's like, yeah, he's hitting 223 for the rest of the year. It's like the first 20 comments. I'm just like, we just live in a funny time where it's just funny because I think Julio, it's like he handles it well, but I'm like, man, it's funny that it's like I don't want our fan base to ever turn against this guy because like he's so positive and chill. So I'm like, dude, we'd never like it's. I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there into the ether because because
His
obviously I think
worst
Julio's
season-
ceiling is amazing. Yeah,
24 years old right now. First of all,
yeah.
his worst season was last year. It was a 4.3 WAR a year. That's not bad.
Best and and Brown Bear. I didn't know this till I saw the podcast on the earlier. It's best WAR for a center fielder in major leagues. weirdly enough, because center fielder, yeah.
And he hit 20 home runs with 24 steals. He hit 273 on the season. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
I get that
Yeah,
it was a
it's
down
enough
year.
thing.
I get that it was a down year for him. I'm not going to debate that. But people think like, okay, cool. He hit like 230 for the first 4 months of the season. He's cooked. It's just over. And they're like, it doesn't matter if he got hot at the end of the season. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a long ass fucking season. His average for the entire season averaged out. Yeah, it would be nice to see him put together a season where he's hitting 350 for the entire season rather than just during the last 2 months. But to say that he's like a bust or a bad player is just completely disingenuous and shows that you don't know ball. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If
Yeah,
that's the
I'm gonna
opinion that
second
you have.
that. I'm gonna second that, and like, yeah, I mean, we've delved pretty deep into the toxicity of the modern game and the internet and the going to the games just to be a fucking troll. Come on, but yeah, you might as well just. No, you get it.
Well, I just want to put in concrete 2025 TBHS. We're a big Julio pod, bro. You can look past it any other year. We've always been a big Julio pod.
If
So
he doesn't have the mate, like, we're gonna
hippie,
see it
bro.
with Gunner.
He is
We're
hippie.
gonna see it with Gunner. If Gunner is the same situation to me as Julio, he's 24. He's started off, cooled off. He got injured, but like, is it because Santander is not in the lineup that he doesn't have the production that his whole entire numbers are going to drop off? And it could be similar with Julio, but I don't. Even in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I don't know if that necessarily makes him a bad player, man. Like, I've seen it time and time again. Like, you're on. This is gonna sound like an excuse, but you're kind of only as good as your team, dude. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like Julio's not the one I'm worried about. He'll go on a 24. What did he have? Like a 14 hits in a row or something. You know, like when the summer heats up, I think he'll have like 21 hits in a row games or whatever he did that one season. But
yeah,
I'm
one of the hottest
like,
Mays ever in baseball, I think. Yeah.
plus, baseball has always been two seasons: the before All-Star break and the after. So all the before All-Star break shit to me is like kind of the bird seed, because it's like maybe you have some good takes and they just end up being true, but like, to me personally, I would not be hating on Julio. He's kind of like one of the best things we have, dude. Like, real talk.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think the why I brought it up, I think, is with this pod is I think we do a lot of almost talking about other teams and just yakking about baseball, which is nice. But I think for anyone watching, we just want to make it concrete on the internet. Like, what's the best? I think it's the best thing Seattle's done in the past decade is sign Julio. I think he is he's just a humble, just chill dude.
I think he good.
Represents the baseball hippie, bro.
I will say his chasteness I don't love, but again, I think that's a roster construct thing. I saw him put him at the 1 a couple games ago, and I'm cool with that. But I'm gonna say early on, and I know Brownbear, you said this in the chat before, is like, I'm not loving all the levers that Dan Wilson is pulling, and you mentioned the bunts. You're either gonna be a small ball team or not. The little like half step and then doing it wrong is almost worse than just swinging away. Like, if you're gonna do it, like, you're going to say, oh, let's run a bunt and do all this. Well, we're not a great base running team. We show that time and time again. So it's like, it's kind of like, pick your, like, don't, like, kind of like what you were saying earlier too, Tobe, about people trying to copy Tampa, is like, pick your style and run with it and don't just like flop. And then also, like, I don't know if Dan Wilson has a style right now, dude. Sometimes the things he does, I agree with in a way. Like, bullpen's but I don't know. He's got some weird the bunts. He calls bunts in weird situations. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say.
I totally agree. I think it's, and maybe not to give him a leeway. I think it's just an interesting there. It's the ownership has constructed a home run heavy team, but in the end of the day, I think Dan knows, and they're like, I think to win just to squeak out games, they need to play small ball.
Here's an actual sequence I saw the Mariners do the other day. Runner gets on like a walk or a base hit. First, no outs, so he bunts him over. The bunt works. Then the next guy strikes out. Then the next guy has an infield pop-up. Then the next guy hits a base hit and that guy scores. But it's like, dude, did you even really? Or no, there was it's like sometimes you're like, dude, you're not. We can't even execute a sac fly, Tobe. Let's be real. Can the Mariners
shout out Mitch Garver?
Now I know I'm getting negative, but can the Mariners execute a sac fly 51% of the time?
Fuck no.
Seems like
brutal to watch, yeah.
So it's like, is that really the style of your team, small ball? I know you're forced to play in a small ball stadium, but is that truly your style? So early, I'm not gonna jump any ship or anything, and we do have not only the best rotation possibly in the American League, might be one of the best rotations in a long, long time if we can get it together. But real quick, guys, you mentioned Mike Trout and T-Mobile Park, and I saw this Reddit post, so I just got to mention it real quick. Oh, wait, Brummer, do you want to jump in on that?
I just have a funny stat before we move past the Mariners.
Yeah.
Julio has a higher career WAR in 3 seasons than Dan Wilson did in his entire 14-year career. So
yeah, that's disrespect. As it should be, though. As it should.
Shout out Jules, bro. Shout out Jules. We stand with the boy, bro.
Yeah. Well, we can get. I got my Julio jersey. I got my shirt. I'm Julio'd out. But I want to see. Yeah, I mean, I think we'd all want to see him hit the All-Star team again this year and really give it. So good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not all of this defense of him. I'm not saying that I don't want to see or even expect him to be, closer to a 300 hitter and hitting, 30 to 40 home runs a year. I think that's his ceiling, and I think that's what we all want to see of him. But I think it's disingenuous to say that he's a bust or a bad player or is.
Or making too much. That's the thing too. Yeah.
Or he's the most consistent player on the team, to be honest with you.
Bro, I can pull a lot of contracts. We don't. That guy wants to go contract for contract.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Mariners have done a thing where it's it's tough to watch. Where it's if the real people who know ball, it's they set up a $15 million offseason. It's but if you're looking at a layman's, it's whoa, oh shit, we spent all our money on Julio. It's dude, you don't know. You don't that's not how it works, bro.
Yeah, that's
what the fuck are we talking about? That's come on now.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But yeah.
I gotta say, Mike Trout at T-Mobile Park, right? Somebody brought that up. This Reddit post says Mike Trout at T-Mobile Park is possibly the greatest player of all time. For reference, Barry Bonds' 2004 season, even with the juicy, is widely regarded as one of the greatest of all time. 617 plate appearances, 135 hits, 60 singles, 27 doubles, 3 triples, 45 homers, 100 RBIs, 232 walks that year, which was so crazy. 362 average. 1.42 OPS. Here's what Trout has at T-Mobile. That was Barry Bonds' 2004 season. Here's what Trout has at T-Mobile. Let's start with OPS. 1.5. 87 home runs, 165 RBIs on 639 plate appearances.
I'm looking at this too. Holy
shit. Here's the first comment too.
Did you see?
If he played for the Mariners, he would be the best player without a doubt. Then the next comment, if he played for the Mariners, he'd be a replacement level player. Then farther down, someone said Mike Trout is possible. Or no, sorry. Farther down, the T in the T-Mobile stands for Trout.
That's fair. See, you see that? It's the one I'm reading is he has the most. He's tied for the most home runs at a opposing team's park with Albert Pujols, who has 33 with Houston, who had 9 more years to play against Houston.
Hate it.
Mariners killer.
Yeah, I hate Trout again. Anyways, all right, so let's close it out here.
No, I love Trout.
Let's close it out. No doubt, Tobe, no doubt.
No doubt. No doubt.
How do we want to close it?
I think
What's
we're.
the
I
league
think.
going to look like in 5 years?
I think glass is half full for the Mariners, bro. Fuck
Okay.
it. I think. Oh, well, this is what I was gonna say earlier. We beat Houston, Texas, so that's glass half full. But there's one thing which to me is actually beautiful for the AL West: a weird rivalry between the Angels and the Mariners, and I kind of love that the Angels are doing good this year because they killed us last year, and then the 2 years before that, we killed them like on some crazy shit. I think we went almost 20-1 against them, and had a brawl where JP had a jump punch against them, and a dude broke his fucking wrist. It was just one of the most amazing brawls of all time.
The double wink brawl.
The double wink, and it was just beautiful. So, and then they killed us last year randomly. So, I think that first Angel series, I think that's to us like. Obviously, Texas and the Astros are going to be up there. I think Texas and Astros look at the Mariners like, man,
I'm not calling you out. I'm going to say this. Be careful.
We got to beat the Angels.
Be careful day trading when really you got to sit on the market for a while. Because I know a lot of people talking a lot of Angels right now. But I've been around for a while, and I don't see it. Now, that might be hater. No.
I'm not even trying to say. I'm not trying to say Angels are
the gauge.
No. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Angels.
No. They're not contenders. But to me, I think their record against us last year was like 12-2, bro.
Okay.
Like they had like.
I know.
To me, I'm like we can't
beat up on us.
Like
Kansas
we can
City,
beat up. We can
Detroit.
beat Houston. But you know what I'm saying? Like they're there and we're here. I think for us in that middle pack, like. We can't go 12-2 against the Angels again this year if we want to make the playoffs at all. So to me, it's like you have to. I think to me, it's like the Angels are this weird thing where I think the world's looking at them and being like, "Oh shit!" Like, damn, the Angels are kind of hot. And it's like I think it's the Mariners are the only ones being like they can't be hot because if they're hot, we're not that's over for the season. Like we have to beat the Angels, bro. And fuck the Angels. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, fuck the Angels, bro. I like the rivalry. I think it's a rivalry. I think we're both dog shit teams, and I just love the dog shit about it that we're just like, there's just this random rivalry that nobody in the league knows about, and it's just between two teams who never make the playoffs, and I just fucking love it. And there's just one dude who shits on us at our own stadium, who's the man, and I think it's amazing, and I think to me. I mean, bro, if we get, it's just one of those things.
You heard it here. We've got to beat the Angels. If there's not a more telling Mariners scenario to be in.
Jess, we sweep Texas, and then what? We get swept by the Angels. How do you feel about our season? Let me tell you that. Let me ask you that.
I feel like, damn, the sky is blue. There's no surprise in any of what you say. Like, I think like right now, as I looked at the standings and like there are cool stories, but there's
5-8. I was wrong. 5-8 last year. My bad.
Yeah, we got beat up by this American Central, if I recall. It was Kansas City and Detroit that I'm looking at. Those are the teams I want to see.
Kansas City has.
Those are playoff teams.
What's Salvy's numbers
again to think that the Mariners? I hate to do us this dirty at the end of the podcast, but. Just trying to be more, what do you call it, non-biased or whatever. The Mariners I'm proud of, and I want to see do well. But so far, putting them as like a guaranteed playoff team you're crazy. It's unfortunate. You want them, they got the talent, especially in the starting pitching department. But the offseason moves look pretty bad, and we need – we'll see. Dumper and Polanco could save us, That's
what I'm saying. I just don't want to be worse than the Angels, bro.
I want us to be a playoff team. we need
At this point, I don't even care about making the playoffs, bro. I just don't want to be worse than the Angels.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, what are we at? We are worse than the Angels right now. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't buy that
obviously,
shit for a second.
I'm talking out. I'm absolutely talking out. I'm absolutely talking out my ass. We finished 85-77 last year. The Angels finished 63-99. So they have us at 100 losses. So it's not. We're not even in the same realm. But
well, I'd be happy to see the Angels make the playoffs. So somebody's illegitimate father will come back and actually raise their child and not just ride their fucking motorcycle around and neglect.
wait, you don't fuck with Nickelback?
Yeah, I want to go to Angels game someday. Yeah, well, how do you guys want to end it? I think we did pretty good today. We got a bunch.
Can I ask a question? This is our first official pod since the season has started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. There's a lot to talk about. I think we did a good job, boys. I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be glad. I'm so glad baseball is back, man. Baseball's fun, man. I love it.
Yeah.
So wait, what's the question though, man? That's not a question.
The question is do you still love baseball, Jess?
Yeah. I gotta say.
I was like,
say this right now. I would say this right now. This is a good way to end it. This is a good way to end it. I'll say two things. One, baseball is a barometer of life. Every decade it just reflects what the world is like at that moment.
Now we're talking. Okay. Now we're talking.
Second is when your fantasy team is in the fucking dungeon the first 2 weeks, and then you were looking at your game against Brown Bear, highly contested, 2 rivals last year, and you're just getting shitted on in the first 2 days of the week. You're kind of like, fuck baseball. I'm about to go fucking into something different. So, yeah, man, having a bad fantasy team sucks.
Nah, but see, listen to Brown Bear. What did he keep telling you, bro? It's a long ass season, bro. That's what
I'm saying I got a lot of guys who are getting short sold. The market is killing me. Okay, a lot of short sellers, but I believe in
Josh put up 800 on me last week, bro, and he got all of his players the week before. Torkelson's gonna take you to the promised land, my brother.
That was a weird trade. Shout out DT, but paid you someone off the wire,
DT
and then
dropped
you dropped
him
him.
4 hours, bro. 4 hours.
You didn't even get him on your team. You basically gave me Torque, which I then immediately started the next week. So thank you, because one man's trash is another man's utility outfielder.
There you go. All right, Brownbear, what are you looking forward to next couple of weeks in the major leagues?
Real quick before I answer that, the answer on the Angels record last year, or our record against the Angels was 5-8. So you weren't totally off base, Tobe.
My bad. I try to make it a little drastic on it.
No, it was good. What I'm looking forward to in the next couple of weeks, I am looking forward to. We're gonna make it positive. I'm looking forward to the Mariners taking first place in the division. I'm looking forward to the Mariners building a lead, and yeah, I think the offense is gonna continue to come around. I think we're gonna get George Kirby back here in a couple weeks. We're gonna see that 5-headed monster take some pressure off the other boys, and we're gonna get Brash, the fucking demon, back.
Demon time.
My boy.
I think things are looking up for the Mariners.
Okay, I'm taking that charge, and I'm going in there
Good
too.
shit,
Thank you for ending it like that. I
like that.
I was dogging us, but we look there are the spots you were talking about that are bright feel brighter this year, and as a whole, our offense feels better, even though Garv and Tellez one of those guys, between the two of them, they need to get some at bat, get some hits. But man,
Donovan
if
Solano
things,
too.
if things click, we're a clickable team. That momentum would be big for us. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
It's
and
a fun team to watch. A fun team to
vibes
watch.
still
So
seem
I'll give
good.
you that.
Like
Yeah.
the dudes seem to like each other, and the vibes seem good.
I agree with
So
that.
Yes.
Vibes are good. Vibes are
Was
good.
this is what I want to watch for the rest of the season, and not to put it in those aspects, but I think it's a good way to compare. It's like the Orioles versus the Banners. Obviously, the Orioles have been more successful, but it's like it's like we're gonna be watching this all season. The pitching's there. I kind of like how they treated Kirby. I like that they gave him rest because obviously he's a dog. And then it's like, are we gonna be? It's like at the end of the day, is a pitching ace team with 5 aces, with a top heavy lineup that can click, gonna go further in the playoffs than a offensive heavy team that
I think not even in the play. I think they'll go
pitcher.
further in. They'll go further in this season. I think it's easier.
Yes. Okay.
for,
Right. My bad. I should say
No,
play.
not your bad, but like I think I'm just saying I get where you're going with that. As I think
Right.
pitching. They always say
It's
pitching
just like
and
a good like
defense
bar
wins.
to set it.
Yeah, well, they always say pitching and defense wins playoffs, and I think that's right. But my point is, I think it's easier to come up as a team that has solid pitching, where you're like all you need is for the offense to click to the point of scoring like 3 to 5 runs a game, and you're going to win most of your games. Whereas like if you're looking at it from the Orioles' perspective, if they can't get pitching together and they're having to score 7 to 8 runs a game, like that's a bigger hill to climb no matter how good your offense is. So
Yep.
anyway.
And you know what another actually my biggest add on to this, and this is my biggest thing, and I've said this to both of you guys to begin this season, is that I kind of love like, and I think it's too much pressure, or it's not pressure, it's just weird that it's like this is what our season based on, but I love just the idea of 2 dudes like Polanco and Randy who are like, where do you want your careers to end? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you just want to be 2 dudes who are like, damn, you guys were solid? Like, I mean, obviously Polanco's older, but it's like,
Yeah, I was about to say
like,
Randy.
no, Randy's way younger, but you know what I'm saying? Where it's like Polanco has this fire to him right now. I feel like where he's like, I'm not bottom tier. I'm dog, bro. I'm dog tier. I'm top 50. And it's just 2 dudes who are like come to the Seattle who have had these things where it's just like people put on them like, damn, man, if you don't do good in Seattle, it's all good, bro. Like, you just go somewhere else. And they're just like, I think the fire you watching them is just kind of like some people who are like, I don't play that game at all. Like, God, that's not me. Like, this is my career, and I take the bull by the horns. Like, and it's just interesting to watch because it's a lot of pressure to put on them that people as a look on them and be like, oh yeah, well, it's like, but I think they know it's like this is a way harder hump to go over than a normal team, and just to watch, to me, like Randy with the grand slam and just kind of taking that game into his hands the other day, and then just Polanco kind of mashing. I was kind of like, it's just a beautiful game at the end of the day. I was just like, man, like these guys could leave Seattle, go to another team, and just be like, and they just mash and just be like, yep, just another Seattle dude who had a couple bad years here. But I think these guys just have a different aspect to them where they're like, it's like,
Yeah.
this is our career, bro. Like, we're not letting some dudes who have, sitting fat, their bellies in the fucking press boxes decide our careers. Like, it's like, this is what it is, bro. Like, I just think that's, I was like, if those guys, it's just, especially Polanco to me, I was just like, man, I think Polanco is just like whatever he does for the rest of the season. I just I respect how hot he came out this year. Because he was, I mean, dude, you're talking about a guy who was so solid on the Twins and didn't get a contract last year, bro. Legit didn't get a contract from any team, bro, until 3 days before the season or spring trading. I mean,
Yeah.
like that's gotta suck for him, bro. He's like, then what? He mashes. It's like, dude, shout out to that boy, bro.
It's a tough biz.
It's brutal, bro. But you gotta love seeing the people like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, the stoke is high. Thanks for landing it like that. I like that.
Positivity, bro. Hippy.
Yes, stoke is high, man, and shit comes and goes, but don't put your emotions in the Mariners, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
That's the vibe. That's the
Nah,
vibe.
but they're it's what's on the screen, and I'll give you that. They're fun. They got it. Their brand is weirdly as fun or more fun than past years, and they got a good.
True.
I wish them the best, man. I want my Mariners to go to the promised land. I think we all do. So, so let's get
We
it.
got boys. We got boys we can get behind. Big paws. Yeah, really.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. All right, guys.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
Tacoma Rainiers. Shout out.
Yeah, was he hitting like 170?